to get in.
You're gonna get in first, okay?
Yes. It's so easy.
I feel like you said that sarcastically. Thank you. It actually looks really cozy. So this is real.
It's a real casket.
This is funny.
Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Today's guest is someone that we hope lives for a very, 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 very long time. She played Hope Schlottman in Marvel's Jessica Jones. To so many of us, she's Annie January, aka Starlight on The Boys. Please welcome my friend, Erin Moriarty. Hi, Erin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so grateful that you're here. We've been trying to make this happen for a long time, and now it's happening. How does it feel to be laying in a brightly colored people container?
I mean, I feel like I don't have an emotional relationship to this casket that is based in reality. I feel like I'm just lying here with you, and it's like this kind of surreal, very cool moment. So it feels great. Like nothing sinister about it, which probably isn't in touch with reality, as I said, but.
It's such a thing that I spend, as you know, so much of my time living in the macabre, in the world of horror, but this is actually pretty not spooky
It's
experience.
cozy. It's cozy.
And I love you and I met at a charity event.
We did.
That was
so
special.
Yeah, it was. It was so special. And then I shipped off to Canada for 9 months, and here we are. That's why it took so long.
It does take a minute to get you off of that set, but I can't wait to see how all things are going to end on the show. How are you feeling?
I'm good. It's a bittersweet moment, you know? Like, I got The Boys when I was 23. I wrapped it when I was M31. So that's a long time.
We are just getting this little show started, and I would like to dive in and ask you some of the toughest questions we have. Are you ready for it?
I'm so ready.
Great. It's a segment that is called Questions You Need to Answer Before You Die, or as the kids call it, Quintabid. Instead of becoming an actor, you've decided to become a breakfast cereal. What kind would you be?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
I love
period.
Cinnamon Toast
Easy.
Crunch. When I was a kid, we weren't allowed any, they were called sugar cereals.
Me neither.
And for some reason, Cinnamon Toast Crunch once in a while could slip between the cracks, even though it was such a sugar cereal. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I love it.
That
It's a
and
comfort
Cinnamon Life. I used to love
Cinnamon
Cinnamon
Life.
Life and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I never had Cinnamon Life, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like so nostalgic for me. I wasn't allowed sugary cereal either, but I had this, this is actually so funny. I had this thing where forbidden fruit type of thing. I wasn't allowed junk food in my house growing up. So of course I became a sugar maniac, right? And I would binge on it as like a 5-year-old. Like I remember during Halloween, I got a bunch of this candy and my mom would put it away. I was allowed 1 piece per night. I snuck like handfuls of it into my pockets going into preschool or school one day. And I ate so much candy, David, that I got 8 cavities, a silver tooth, and a root canal at 5 years old. That's like, I grew
intense.
up with a silver tooth, but a root canal at 5, and in the dentist's office, they can't put you under like when you're 5 years old. So they get you kind of like the 5-year-old equivalent to drunk. And my parents were like, she is high off her mind, because they could hear me from the waiting room with my mouth wide open singing Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears.
Like David at the
Belting
dentist?
it.
Yeah.
Belting it.
I love it.
Yeah, so love candy, love sugar, love Cinnamon Toast
And
Crunch.
now that I'm a full-grown ass adult, my pantry, it's like Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry, Captain Crunch, Oops All Berries. What else is in there?
I feel like if I do that, I'm gonna have another root canal.
Which Disney character do you think would be the worst roommate?
Oh my God. I am allergic to saccharine. Like when I say saccharine, I mean disingenuously saccharine humans. So like if Cinderella's in my fucking room and singing nonstop to animals, I'm gonna feel so guilty about wanting to slap her because she's Cinderella, but get the fuck out. I'm an introvert, I like to live alone, I like peace, I like quiet. I'm gonna say, not one of the evil ones, I'm gonna say, Cinderella, stop singing to animals in my room. Don't attract these like vermin into the house. Like that's gonna be so annoying.
Great answer. It's a great
I don't like
answer.
like people like jumping around singing all the time. Like that's like, no, I wouldn't
Great
do well.
answer, Erin. Thank you. I love that. Which historical figure do you think would thrive the most on TikTok?
I don't know if they're historical because we don't know who they are, and this is really dark. But I feel like if you just transfer the genre of true crime onto TikTok and take like the Zodiac killer,
So instead of sending their ciphers and mysterious letters to like news publications, the Zodiac Killer has got a ring light in an anonymous Airbnb somewhere and is delivering manifestos to the TikTok nation. Who would win in a battle? Starlight or Ariana Grande as Glinda?
Starlight. My bias is especially like sharpened right now because I'd say goodbye to her. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get to play her anymore, so I have a certain kind of like nostalgia-induced like emotional attachment to her at the moment. So I'm gonna say Starlight, but that's 100% through the lens of bias, obviously.
If your character Annie could give Erin one piece of advice about boundaries or courage, what would it be?
I feel like she would say to me, work on exercising the muscle of your boundaries as much as you work on exercising the muscle of your empathy. Because without boundaries, your empathy is not as strong as you would like it to be.
Do you keep anything weird in your trailer? Or do you have any like odd requests when you're working?
I'm basic. Like I keep incense in my trailer, and my request while working, like I've since given up coffee. I don't know how I'm here today because of that, but I'm like a former raging coffee addict. So I like my coffee to be like battery acid. And so I would drink like 20 red eyes a day. That would be my only like consistent, intense request. Other than that, I'm boring.
What scent in particular with the incense, or just do you do like a potpourri, a cornucopia?
I like something sandalwoody. I like eucalyptus. I just don't like. I like the way incense smells over candles because I feel like it's more potent.
I love them both. I'm not gonna lie. I am a candle guy.
I love the aesthetic of candles.
I love scented candles. I'm a nerd for scented candles.
Yeah.
That's my weird thing. I would love like a request all kinds of candles, and I like
do?
sweet, but I'm big into like jasmine, vanilla, etc.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
People who like blue cheese, are they sociopaths? Are they lying? Are they liars?
Hey, let
you
me
like
tell
it?
you something.
Maybe it's this association that we all have with lying at like a therapist's office, but it felt similar, even though the fact that it's in a casket, which creates this kind of funny juxtaposition because you feel so safe, but you're in a casket.
On Grave Conversations, we are striving to normalize conversations about death and dying. I just want to know, are you ready to talk about end-of-life celebrations, funeral planning, death, all of that good stuff?
I'm ready.
You're ready for it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's time for a segment that we call Death Wish. If you could know the exact moment of your death, would you want to?
No, I wouldn't. I already have anxiety, and I just feel like I want to be like present with life, but that's just going to make me like, whether it's in 29 years or in 40 years or in 2 years or tomorrow, I don't see the benefit in that. I want to have a relationship with death that's healthy, and that would be unhealthy to me. Would
sure.
you?
No.
No.
One of the many character defaults that I am working to shift, one of them is what I call my future tripper part. It takes me out of presence. It steals me of my ability to,
I agree.
To be here right now. And that is something I work so hard to do because the other parts of me tend to live in the past.
Yeah. I think it was Eckhart Tolle who said, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right.
Yeah.
I'm probably not. That anxiety is based in future tripping, and is it depression is based in the past?
Yes.
We can live that lesson over and over again. We can learn it. But to embody it is really fucking hard.
Why does it take me so long, Erin? I'm 50 and I can't seem to learn these lessons.
I mean, listen, like one of my favorite things my mother has ever told me that just like released the pressure on me was she just says to me, or she says consistently all the time, I am just further down the timeline than you. I don't necessarily, like age definitively gives you wisdom, but she said, I always thought that I would get to this psychological sense of arrival, and it never happened. I still feel like a kid in so many ways.
Erin, what's something you used to believe about the world that you no longer do?
Interesting question. Oh my gosh. I used to be the kind of person that went about life with this really, really, really disciplined dogmatic relationship to not just work, but just overall discipline, like exercise, schedule. And it was so tightly wound that if I betrayed my schedule, which is how I looked at it as a betrayal, if I didn't adhere to this really unrealistic, or these unrealistic expectations I set for myself, I was the kind of person that was like a no days off kind of person, right? And that sent me into a space of just physical and mental lack of wellness. You know, they say like, don't let perfection be the enemy of good. I let perfection be the enemy of good to a really, really extreme degree. And now I'm just much loose. My grasp on life, my grasp on the wheel of like professional stuff, personal stuff has loosened, not in a way where I am way more lax about not meeting my responsibilities, but I've just become way easier on myself. But I treated my body and my brain and everything in between like it was a machine for so long. And I was so brutal on myself. And it was this self-loathing type of thing. It took a lot to get to the other side, but it's so much more comfortable here.
I'm so happy for you. Do you think that we leave an energy behind in the places that we've been?
I do. And I don't know how. I don't know if it's a tangible energy. I don't know if it's just via like our presence in people's minds and through our memories and the memories they possess of us. I think so much of these, or so many of these things are such unknowns, and that's what kind of makes them cool, and that's what allows some of us to exist with less anxiety. But I do in some way. I don't know how, but I do believe that, yeah.
If you could ask the universe one question and get a clear answer, what would it be?
Wow, that's that is such a profound question. This isn't earnest, because like if I really thought about this for a month, I'd have an earnest, like, and it's not even like, do people who like blue cheese, are they sociopaths? Are they lying? Are they liars? I'm serious.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Do you like blue cheese?
I like blue cheese. I'm a Cobb salad guy, and I like a Cobb salad with blue cheese in it, and I like blue
Can I
cheese
ask a
stuffed
question?
olives.
On behalf of like blue cheese likers everywhere, I want you to represent them right now. Like, it tastes like mold. I think you're all lying.
It is mold.
I think that you're all lying.
Cheese is like mold, really. But
like,
blue cheese is such a strong, pungent, powerful. But here's the thing. I'm a little different than you, because like I said, I love the incense that smells sweet. I like a little savory.
Incense that smells
but
sweet.
I also, something weird about me, there's certain, like sometimes a really musky, strong smell, I don't mind. Like a really strong cheese doesn't offend me. I like it. I get into it.
Something about that like I think that's like, if you like blue cheese, it's a personal red flag to me.
Can we still be friends?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
We can.
I will never eat blue cheese in your presence.
I'm gonna try and eat it later today now.
Have you ever done any like planning? You ever think about like, okay, if I died, this is the funeral that I would want. This is the Erin Moriarty funeral of choice.
The only thing that relates to death that I've really thought about has been how I want to go, and I have never thought about the funeral itself. But I'm the kind of person, like, I don't like parties centered around me. I don't like I've always thought like I will do a city hall wedding. So I'm not the kind of person that would envision a funeral. I have thought about certain elements of my life, and like I have gotten introspective at times and thought, at the end of the day, what do I want people to think about me? And so I guess you could say what people would say about me at a funeral, but the actual funeral itself, I think at the end of the day, I just want like a celebration of my life. I'd want it to be, I don't want to say positive because that's a reductive way of putting it, but celebratory with obviously space for people to mourn.
Do you know what's one of my biggest grievances with the boys?
Tell me.
That I never got to be on it. And that you didn't get to kill me on it, because at my funeral, I want a reel playing of all of my death scenes. And then I thought, since you're gonna die way after I do, I'll be long gone before you die, but I would have created a really great tape for them to play at your funeral of you killing me.
Oh my God.
And that would have been my...
Listen, the universe is expansive. Our showrunner has outright said, no one is safe in this last season. But in the previous season, a version of me played a shapeshifter. So whether I live or not, we don't know who lives, we don't know who doesn't live. But the universe is expansive. There are more spin-offs happening. There are opportunities for my character and every other character to come back in some way. And so I'm manifesting that for us, for your funeral.
Thank you.
Of
Does
course.
does Starlight think about death and dying? Does she
Yeah.
ever get scared?
I think when you're in that like world, you have to. I mean, she thinks about dying way more than I would because she is in life or death circumstances in ways that I've never been in. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, thus far she's had to take really she's had to have moments where she's okay dying to sacrifice herself for the greater good. I mean, not to get once again saccharine on us, but that's kind of what being a hero is, and as we're aware, she's like one of the few only real heroes on the show. And I remember like really, really seriously contemplating who I was going to reach out to that night to please ask them to take care of my dog if I died that night. Because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I feel like I've been through a catharsis in that casket. A casket catharsis.
Well, thank you for opening up with us today. Let's talk about things that are happening in our lives outside of the casket. What are the things going on in life that make you think about your own mortality?
I didn't really have a relationship with my own mortality until this past year. In May, was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called Graves' disease. And it's one of those things where, so my dad, for example, he worked in home care nursing his entire life with people who were in hospice care, terminally ill. So from a really young age, I was going with my dad to visit his patients who were terminally ill. And he has a clinical view of death, but he also has this ability to talk about it and exist in it without freaking out. And I've always admired that in him. And I'd never had to confront my own mortality, but I always thought that hopefully that would have left some sort of contagious mark on me. And this past year when I was sick, it made me realize I never want to exist in a prolonged state in my body where I'm in severe discomfort, but also made me question things that, like, essentially I got to a place in this past season of filming The Boys, actually, but in my life where, unbeknownst to me, for a couple of years, I had had this autoimmune disease developing. And by the time I was diagnosed, I could barely walk. My mom was visiting me at one point, and she walked to the pharmacy to buy me a thermometer because my temperature was soaring. And I'm someone, like I said, who would work out all of the time, get so much joy from exercise. I went from being someone who worked out 5 days a week and like really valued strength to not being able to walk down the block. And I'm just saying this to kind of relay the severity that some autoimmune diseases, the way they can manifest. And I wish I had known what was going on, but I just didn't, because prior to that, I was just exhausted all the time. And I thought that I was stressed out, but I also would see the doctor and I would sort of communicate something was going on. Something happened, which kind of, I'm still metabolizing the way it impacted me, which was the disbelief that you can sometimes see in people's faces when you're going through something that is, in that moment, life or death. Anyway, I remember like going to work and trying to figure out shirts that were appropriate to wear without a bra because I couldn't clasp my bra because my hands were too weak. Wow. It was so severe, David. It's something that, like, to this day, to put myself back into that state or like really go there mentally is hard for me. But
And
I remember
you're a public figure. You have everyone's looking at you. Plus, you're going to set, so everyone's looking at you. The day revolves around you.
I have to
the
be on screen.
The day needs Erin to be at 100%. She's not only just an actor; she's playing a superhero, and you're unable to even like reach behind your back and clasp a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And even speaking about it now is like, I'm so glad to be, because it's cathartic for me, and it feels important as well, because obviously I had no idea what was going on. I knew that I'd taken the test to find out if I had Graves' disease, but at that moment I was waiting several weeks to get the test back. And I was lying in bed at one point and my temperature was soaring. I was sleeping most hours of the day. And I remember like really, really seriously contemplating who I was going to reach out to that night to please ask them to take care of my dog if I died that night. Because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And I just thought, if this isn't Graves' disease, then the doctors were like, you're going to need to see a neurologist because this is like, I couldn't walk, but my hands were numb and like all of these things were happening. They weren't able to find anything else in my blood work that would have indicated something else. So it could have been, they were thinking something with my brain.
Sure.
And so of course I thought I was dead.
And it probably makes you feel crazy too.
Oh.
Because like you said, the look on people's faces, which is like
I mean,
either disbelief, confusion,
crazy, crazy, and just like the way that Graves affects you is it can affect your psyche, it can affect your mood. And so I already had these mood swings that were out of control and hard to control. But I mean, I remember once again lying in bed, because I was lying in bed constantly during that time, unless I was at work, and thinking, what matters to me, and this was a wild thought to have at that time because I had lived for work. I've worked since I was 15, really 11, and everything has been about work, and I've loved it. And I don't regret anything. But I remember lying in bed and thinking, if I die tomorrow, what matters to me is I've navigated life being a kind person, and that taught me so much. Like, that's what mattered in the end.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone about life with this earnest, like innate, and it's not like a moral holier than thou disposition. It's because I think that when you're a kind person, the world in return is easier to tolerate because you're kind of, I like to believe everyone's kind unless they prove otherwise. And I like to go about the world with a level of kindness because it makes it safer, right?
Yeah.
But that's what mattered to me. Not the work accolades, not anything that I thought would be the tangible sources of pride at the end of the day or at the end of my very last day. It was going about things in a way that felt honest and with a level of integrity that I associate with being a good person. But I think going through that, I didn't have any frame of reference. No one my age was going through anything that I could compare that to. Not to like employ terminal uniqueness, because I'm aware that people are going through horrible things and at any age, but I thought I was done. And I just remember thinking like, it would suck to go now because I just thought there's so much more of life that like I want to experience, and that would make me sad. But I don't have control over this if it is going to take me out. If I wake up tomorrow or if I get a diagnosis next week and I'm able to come back and Erin is able to come back, because I was gone. I was buried deep inside myself. I was gone. I'm going to implement this lesson that I've learned, which is we all just need to be, and I know this is so simplistic, but just be fucking kind.
Yeah.
Just be kind. They've proven that altruism is something that is as good for yourself as it is for others. So even if it's a selfish motive, just be fucking kind, because life can be so hard in ways we don't have control over. And that was what had made me happy in the end. I thought I can go tomorrow knowing that bare minimum I can say that about myself, that I have tried, even if I haven't succeeded.
Being on Grave Conversations feels...
Being on Grave Conversations feels therapeutic.
Thank you for doing that. And I know that somebody's watching this right now that's going to impact. And I'm just so thankful. Thank you for coming and being on. I didn't know we were going to go so deep together today. And I never know where the show is going to go.
I love that about the show.
I never know how funny, how sad, how intense, how introspective it's going to be. Thank you so much for being here on Grave Conversations. I do have one final thing I want to ask you. We would like for you, please, to give your own Y.O.U.logy. It's spelled out for you. Y.O.U.logy. It's very funny. Now, when I say die, I'm going to give you 60 seconds as if you're walking in to the funeral of yourself, and you're going to give your own eulogy. Please make it sincere and thoughtful, or make it funny. Okay, 3, 2, 1, die.
She tried her fucking best. She really did. And it's hard to try your best, but she tried her fucking best. And still died thinking that people who liked blue cheese were sociopaths. I can't. I mean, that's it, period.
That's fucking
She tried her
great.
best.
Sure did, and you're doing amazing. I'm so excited to see all that's up next for you. We are so excited to see the final season of The Boys, and even more to see what you do after that, and after that, and after that. But for now, I must sleep. Bye.
jealous now, I want a nap. The cheddar cheeses of the world, you know what I mean? Like just like the manchego, love, like that. Like just something that doesn't have mold through it. I can't. It's making me like,
Okay.
I can't.